Hey guys, you get here. Today I am bringing you a match of Little War Games. So something I want to say right off the bat for this video, this is happening live, and all of my videos up to this point have been recorded. So me, I have no idea what's about to happen. But let me go ahead and introduce the people that are playing. On the top left, top right corner. Wow, I almost had a breakdown there. Of I forgot what this map's called. I'll definitely have it in the title of this video. But in the top right corner of this map, we have NorM, and the bottom left we have a very popular, very well-known YouTuber in the Little War community, Hobo. Very exciting to see this game played. If you go back in the video and read all the comments at this point, they're talking about the match that just happened. I did save the replay for that one, and I think I might do a replay of that game. And you know, if I do, I'll probably release this game after that. But we'll see what happens. In that game, Hobo went mech and produced a lot of gyrocraft as well as a lot of Gatling guns and did a lot of run bys. NorM focused on playing. He played RAX, so barracks, very standard style. Played on a very new map. It was very wintry. Again, I'm really sorry I don't have all my map names down right for the count, but very excited to play or very excited to just watch this, especially live. These are two really good players, really competitive too. As you can see, NorM really wanted to get the revenge for that very last game that they played. So it'll be very exciting to see. Very exciting to see what they go for. Looks like NorM here is going for a castle first with a tower for defense, and then Hobo is going for barrack play with a raider scout. And this will be very interesting. I've very rarely won playing barracks on this map. I am pretty new to the game, so maybe it was my inexperience that led to that, but I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like Beast has a lot of a better time spreading out, having more control, and then Mech is able to really push their advantage in the sense of they have a really nice death ball composition going on. Very good against buildings, like catapults against buildings, and then they can use their gyrocraft to raid things like this. But it looks like both of these players here, both of the opponents, are going for very similar unit or army compositions. They're both going for barrack plays. That's very interesting, especially with a castle first. Very interesting decision. What I typically see is a build like this, like such, going for a standard raider scout, house barracks raider. Into castle, and it looks like he might want to get, very much looks like Hobo wants to get a very fast third castle. This is exciting. He obviously has this raider to scout exactly what his opponent is doing. He can really see that he probably actually had this decision in mind the second he saw this tower. The fact that he saw that his opponent was very defensive to the point where he wanted to get a tower up. So this is kind of greedy, but the fact that he has this information about what's going on kind of leads him to be able to think that this is not as greedy as it might have been. Looks like NorM had ideas of going for an additional castle here, but obviously that was denied by this raider. You know, if he desperately wanted to get this castle going, I'm sure NorM would take these units out and really force these raiders to go. And it looks like that's what he's about to do, actually. Hobo's got to be very careful that he doesn't lose these units. And it looks like he's doing a fantastic job. Within seconds of him getting the alert that these units are in danger of being attacked, he is moving them out of harm's way and really being able to micro that. At home, Hobo is still getting set up for this game. I don't know if personally I like to transfer workers from my oversaturated bases to my undersaturated bases, and then have my workers continuously go to the closest or the nearest base. But as far as I can tell, Hobo is really still getting set up. Like if he were to be attacked at this point, we can go ahead and look at the units. He would not be ready for like a beast all in. But like I said, he was able to get so much value out of these raiders. Oh, looks like he just lost one as well. So I didn't notice that, but he no longer has his second raider. Oh, and this is very sneaky here. Very, very sneaky raider. He might actually. Oh, looks like he doesn't overcommit with the raider. If it were me, I would probably have made the choice to stay on that worker and kill it. But then again, I probably would have lost my raider as a result. Hobo is getting very close to that 350. Maybe he might have had ideas to go for a fourth base. Again, I think getting a fourth base this early would have been very greedy, as you know his opponent already has this army composition going on for himself. Looks like he's going for an armory, so very good, very nice tech choice, especially with archers being able to attack from further out. And then Hobo using his raider to scout out where his opponents are, to see if his opponent is moving out at all, making sure that his raider stays up. This is amazing value. The amount of information that this raider has been able to give Hobo has been extremely extremely good, and it looks like Hobo's raider finally comes to a sad ending due to that maneuverable to those arms. Oh, this is really interesting. It seems like he had his units on not like patrol, but kind of to scout around his area and really search for that. Something I did miss briefly. Looks like NorM is going for priests. Very good in terms of healing units and making things work that way. While this has all been going on, Hobo's been macroing up at home, so now he has this very large archer composition, but only archers. So this will be interesting because, you know, in a frontal assault, soldiers will really be able to get in on top of those archers and really create issues for him. Looks like he's the idea that Hobo's going for is a run by on a potentially fourth base to deny that, and then a turn. Yeah, as you can see, this turn into his third base to really try and harass as much as possible. Looks like we're getting the answer from NorM, and I don't know how. Oh, this may not have been a very good decision by Hobo to go for, but it looks like with this kiting and this damage that he's been able to produce from keeping a perimeter has been very good, but obviously outmatched. Outnumbered by his opponent's archer units, outmatched in terms of this priest exactly. Doesn't look like it very much looks like he kind of threw these archers away. I feel like it was entirely possible for Hobo to get a little bit more value out of those archers than what he got. So that'll be something interesting to say. And I mean, who am I to say that, right? Because I've only been playing this game for about a week. But I mean, still, the idea is there. The idea is very much there. All right, let's see what's going on here. Looks like both of NorM as well as Hobo have gone for their armory and this range upgrade. It's very nice for very big frontal assaults. You'll be able to get more archers firing upon your units or your opponent's units. I've seen this happen very well. Recently, I've seen this happen a lot more, where once you get to the point where you start floating resources, you invest a lot in these towers, especially when going for newer bases, which really leads you to be able to defend your position a lot better. Looks like Hobo's gone for his fourth base and securing a perimeter for probably an eventual fifth base, potentially sixth base, and it looks like, you know, NorM's got units out here for the same reason, to really scout out if his opponent is going for any move outs. For instance, like he's moving out with these archers. If they come around this bend, this soldier will see it, this soldier will see it, and then he'll be able to maneuver his army to a place where he can really work with that. Looks like Hobo has ideas for a multi-pronged attack. If he moves these units out right now into his opponent's base, he'll be attacking and striking his opponent's base at an ideal time where his opponent's whole army will be busy dealing with these units. So this will be very interesting to see to see what happens. These invisible raiders, this will be very interesting. I know that these raiders are very good at dealing DPS, and like I said before, as Hobo is dealing with NorM's entire army here, NorM is going to move out with the rest of his army and really go for this base here. If you watched my video yesterday, I was in a very similar situation playing Beast, where I had the decision to split up my army and go for my opponent's infrastructure and base versus using my whole army to attack my opponent's whole army, and I made the same decision where I decided I'm going to go attack my opponent's base. I don't know if that's the right decision. I do know that it feels good because you do a lot of damage to your opponent, but then that really means that you're kind of open to this attack, and you really do damage to each other at that point. Looks like NorM has the answer to this by going for invisible raiders. That will be very good for persistently killing off those forces. Let's go ahead and see the APM as our opponents have to deal with fights against on both sides of the maps, and 60 APM, a click per second, has nothing to scoff at. I imagine that their mental game is very is working very hard as they have to concentrate on the forces. So it looks like those archers were killed at the expense of some of these units. Let's go ahead and look at the units lost tab and just take a look at how many workers were lost. So as you can see from that engagement, Hobo lost 16 workers overall in this whole match, while his opponent has only lost 4. So that really means that NorM is going to be at a better economical standing. Surprised that we haven't seen as much lag in this game as I would have expected. I probably thought we would have had at least a drop frame every second, but it seems like we're doing very well. I would probably want to go for some airships, exactly, with some Oculus. The ability to see invisible things upgrade. I think that would be very good in this situation. It would offer your army a lot more maneuverability, as well as being able to deal with those invisible raiders is very very helpful, I think. Priests giving a lot of value to NorM's army right now. being able to dish so much damage. Let's go ahead and take account of how many bases Hobo's got up right now. So he just finished setting up his, or producing his 3 additional bases, it looks like. So what it looks like just happened is that Hobo lost this base, or lost a fight at this base, and decided, okay, I'll just go for 3 more bases. Economically, that makes a lot of sense. In terms of army, though, it's very important that he has the army to defend against something going on. With these units being invisible, ooh, now they're no longer very invisible, but let's okay, now, oh thank goodness, the airship is out. He can finally see these units that have been constantly pestering his forces here. It's finally coming to an end. That's good. So theoretically, at this point, if Hobo is not interfered with at all, like at all, he'll be able to get workers out and mining all of these bases. He'll basically be on 7 bases while his opponent is on 4. 3, maybe 4 bases, yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look at this going on. But as you can see, NorM is doing a very good job of making sure that he scouts what his opponent is up to. He scouts the fact that his opponent has gone for this idea of producing more bases, and you know, NorM is just going to shut that down, especially since he has the army to do that. Let's go ahead and take a look to see where Hobo's army is going to be at this point, if he has one, which it looks like he has 16 archers. Yeah, there's his army, and then a couple mages. Very good mage hits. Think, that is very good. As you can see, those mage fireballs were very much directed towards those priests. NorM, with some very vulgar language there, has to kind of reassess the situation. He doesn't want to he wants to make sure that he doesn't lose his entire army to a bunch of mages, and that's very, very reasonable. I would not want to lose my army to a bunch of mages as well. At this point, it looks like Hobo is very, very much exposed. Oh, NorM is floating 1,500 resources. That is not good. Very much not good. Hopefully he fixes that very soon. Oh, NorM. Oh, no. Hobo is doing a better job of making sure that his income stays low. It looks like he's producing. I wonder how many production he has. Let's go ahead and look at the building. He has 5 barracks. Okay, 5 barracks is I've heard people say that you want 3 barracks per base. So if he had 5 bases, you should have 15 barracks. You tell me if that sounds right. But it definitely looks like Hobo's going for this very offensive move here. At the same time, he's going for his opponent's mineral line. He's using his mages very well against his workers. They're very vulnerable to those fireballs. They become very weak. And so, as you can see, NorM is using his reinforcing units to try and defend from that position, while also having to deal, while also being offensive with these units. So NorM using his mages that he's gotten to be able to move forward from that point on. Continuous aggression from Hobo. Let's see what he's going to be able to achieve. So he basically kills 1 base. His opponent manages to kill this base. It looks like he's about to... He's killed all the workers from that base. Whatever workers Hobo pulled from this base, he's managed to kill, and he is no longer mining these 2 bases. So Hobo is essentially left in a very sad predicament here, on only 1 mining base, which is it's kind of sad because if we look at the income here, both of them have had very similar income, but as you can see, Hobo has just simply lost so much more than his opponent. So like a crazy amount more than his opponent. Um, Enough that the fact that NorM's floating resources really doesn't matter, because his opponent has lost more resources than he's floating. So Hobo looks like calls for the GG, and NorM, uh, you know, gladly takes it. Might as well say GG myself. All right, guys. Well, if you enjoy that game, please leave a like, subscribe subscribe to my channel. I make content for this game every single day. So if you wanna support the Littlewargame community, support me and try and make it grow at the same time. That would be amazing. Thank you guys. Again, if you enjoyed, please subscribe. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye, guys.